Good afternoon, listening audience. We welcome you once again to Black to Business, where I am your host, the chairman of the board for the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We say happy hump day, and I hope you're having a good lunch break, and whatever you're eating right now, I hope it's very good to you. So I also hope that the show today is a very good one, because we have with us a living legend that probably needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce him anyway. His name is Glennon E. Basil. He's the king of the golf swing. He's a coach, founder of Global Golf Institute, LLC, master masseur, and the author of Anatomy of the Perfect Golf Swing, the surest way to better golf. So, without any further ado, I introduce to some and I present to others Mr. Glenn Basil. Mr. Glenn, who is Glenn Basil?
Glennon Basil is a 1943 model out the Lafitte Project.
All right, all right. So tell us more about yourself, Mr. Basil.
Well, I'm the youngest of six children, Mr. Thomas Basil and Clotilde Basil. And some people may know my older sister, Jermaine Basil, one of
Okay.
the singers around New Orleans, you know. And I've been in the health and wellness business since 1961. You know, I finished McDonald 35, went to Suno, got a job at the New Orleans Athletic Club, and I've been in the health and wellness business ever since.
Okay, so you're a New Orleanian, born and raised.
Look, to the roots.
Okay, okay. So, Mr. Basil, how do you become the king of the golf swing?
Well, working in country clubs and resorts for about 13 years, I was treating golf related injuries that didn't have anything to do with the golf swing.
Okay,
And when I would ask the person, well, how did you injure this? They say, oh, my coach said do this, my coach said do the other. And it became apparent that a lot of golf coaches and instructors, they don't know how the body works, you
Mm.
know. They see a part moving and they'll tell the person to move that part,
okay,
turn that left knee in, you know, do whatever they see.
right.
But when you see a part of the body moving, you're seeing the result. The cause is somewhere else. You
Got
know? So you almost have to be dyslexic to see where the cause is.
Right,
you
right.
know? So it's all about opposites, and that's how you maintain your balance.
Okay.
You know, you walk with left leg, right arm,
Right.
and that's about maintaining balance.
Okay, so it's all about balance.
Absolutely.
All right, so can you further give us further information on that? Because you are the king of the golf swing. So I
Well-
know it's more than just about balance. I know you have
Yes.
some techniques, some strategy, and a whole bunch of other stuff for you to be called, not just by yourself, not to be self-defined, but by other people as the king of the golf swing.
Well, here's the deal. The most difficult skill in the world for anyone to learn is walking.
Okay.
And you know, you say you got to crawl before you walk. That is not the truth. You got to
Okay.
get balance first. That's why the child continues to fall down.
Right.
You know, and what keeps them down is gravity.
Got
And
it.
once they finally stand up and can maintain their balance, now you got to catch them because they caught on to the trick.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why, you know, they start running and grabbing and pulling on things. But understanding how the body works. And in 1995, I decided to write this book because after years of working country clubs and resorts, I said somebody need to address this. And this is what most things are based on. You find a need that needs to be filled, and that's what I was attempting to do, is to fill this void. So in doing the massages and giving treatments, I had read an article in a magazine that said that after 600 years of golf gurus and whatnot, if golf had to be graded, it would get an I for incomplete.
Incomplete.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So I addressed the book from that perspective and decided that when you look at any motion, brushing your teeth, whatever it is,
Right.
it's a certain group of muscles pulling a certain group of joints in a certain sequence.
Got it.
And that's
So,
what happens.
before we get into the book, now you say you've been golfing and doing country clubs and all this kind of stuff for how long?
Since 1961.
Since
almost
1961.
About
So
65
so
years.
please tell us a brief history of that. Because I'm looking at you and you look like me, and I know I am an African American person of color. Most people would call, say, a black man, according to James Brown, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, all that kind of stuff. But I do realize and recognize that golf for a man of color, especially in particular a black man, in the times that you speak of, was not really something popular, was something welcome for a black man to do. So tell me your history of that and about that. And then we can get into Mr. Joe Bartholomew and all those kind of guys who bridged the way and became those bridge builders as you did.
Well, what happened, like I said, working at these country clubs and resorts, I was on the inside. There were a lot of black guys who were working, but they were caddies and they were on the outside. So I got a chance to see and hear things on the inside that they weren't privy to when they were outside carrying bags or whatever they were doing. And I learned a lot of lessons, being the fly on the wall. They weren't talking to me, but I'm listening and I'm taking notes in my head, Well, this is how this goes. So, like I said, in traveling and learning and listening, I developed a technique of treating these people, and one thing led to another, because when they find somebody that's good at what they do, here comes the recommendation, and then this one and then that one. So I was fortunate enough to meet some people who saw and appreciated the kind of work that I did, and they rewarded me handsomely.
Got it. So that's called when blessings meet opportunity. Therefore, it is. So, what is the Global Golf Institute LLC?
Well, I had before Katrina, after I had written the book Anatomy of the Perfect Golf Swing in 1998. It was first published, and it was an 8.5 by 11 spiral-bound coloring book for children.
All right, so let's go ahead and dive into that since you're bringing us there. The question is, when did you become an author, and why did you write the Anatomy of the Perfect Golf Swing?
Well, like I said, having worked and treated injuries for the length of time that I did from 1961 to in 1995, I decided to write the book and to address the very problems that people were having. And some people may know my sister, Jermaine Basil. Well, she was kidding me. She said, "Man, you're going to run yourself out of business." I said, "What you mean?" She said, "You're telling them how to keep from breaking it. You're not going to be
making any money.
You ain't going to make no money,
Right.
So, but the thing was to have people enjoy the game without the injuries. It took 3 years, from 95 to 98, before I published it. And like I said, it was a coloring book for children.
Okay.
Because I was going to trick them into learning anatomy and physiology and golf at the same time. And the pages were big, so they had to color the illustrations yellow of the bones and the muscles pink or red.
Okay.
And I used to threaten them, with the pencil. You tell this pencil it better not go outside that line. And I'd get on my knees and look in their face and make them talk to the pencil, right? And they said, "Coach Basil is mean," you understand? I said, "Coach Basil is strict," you understand? And the fun for me was to see the reaction when they finished. "Coach, I didn't go outside the line one time." Say, "Yeah, Now go home and tell your grandma and everybody in the house where the deltoids are.
Ah,
So they had an assignment. And till today, some of my older adult students, they get angry with me because I tell them I need homework, bro. I need you to tell me what you remembered from today's class.
so you got everybody doing
You
it.
got to write. That's what you learn.
Right. All right, Coach. So, how do you earn the recognition from former U.S. President George H.W. Bush? Tell me that story. I know you was alluding to it earlier.
Yeah.
But tell the listening audience how that came about.
In 1998, the first T. A lot of people are familiar with that program,
A lot of people.
and the first T really came about because of Tiger Woods.
Okay.
And the USGA, the United States Golf Association, the LPGA, the Greenskeepers of America, the Masters. There were 5 bodies that saw a Michael Jordan,
Okay.
saw a cash cow.
Right. Right.
We got a black dude we can make some money off. So they formed this organization called the First Tee.
Got it.
And the first T, they used the toot. Dr. Francis Grant out of Boston, Massachusetts, was a dentist,
Okay.
and he invented the T.
Wow.
So it looks like a toot. You put the
Okay.
root in the ground, and you put the ball on the crown.
Yeah.
And he gave those T's to his clients, you know.
Teats.
So this is where they get that first T from.
Got it.
All right. Joe Louis Barrow, the boxer, the
Uh-huh.
champion, his son, Joe Louis Barrow Jr., they made him the chairman of the first T.
Okay.
Okay, so now you got 2 black things
Yeah,
going on,
yeah.
right? And George Herbert Walker Bush was the honorary chairman.
Got it.
Now, his grandfathers on both sides of his mom and dad were presidents of the United States Golf Association. So
Okay.
the whole lineage of, stuff is right there. And when the first Tee had their press release, it was at the downtown Detroit Athletic Club. And I have a friend named Selena Johnson in Detroit, and she told me, bro, you got to come because all the big wigs are going to be there.
Okay.
So I went up to Detroit, and there were 6 black people in the whole place.
Wow.
And I was
You was
Earl Woods, Selena, myself, Butch Rhodes, a boy named Malcolm Rhodes, and who was it? Ernie Ellison, and another guy. Yeah, and this is where I met Tiger's daddy. You know,
Okay.
and at the time, bro, was hip. Malcolm Rhodes was a teacher out of Flint, Michigan,
All right.
and he introduced himself to Earl Woods, and he told him, he said, I'm a PGA instructor. Earl Woods said, oh, Ray, that's great. He said, I'm one of 9 black PGA instructors.
Wow.
This is in 1998. They had over 26,000 PGA instructors, and they had 9 black.
Wow.
You understand? I think they got about 150 now out of 30,000.
Okay.
So there wasn't enough black instructors to begin with, and the first Tee, their goal was to make golf affordable and accessible to the inner city, minority, urban, whatever the little buzzwords were at the
Right.
time, And I'm sitting in the audience and I said, wow, they were going to choose the first 100 cities that had political and corporate input would get the chapters.
Right.
So it's back to politics and money, who gets what.
Got it.
And so right now they have over $2 billion endowment, the first Tee.
Wow.
Understand? The PGA cut away from them, and they got their own youth program, and everybody thought there would be an influx of black professionals because of Tiger Woods, but there hasn't. There's
Hasn't happened.
4 or 5 black guys that are out there on the tour, and if you're not winning, you're struggling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. If you don't make the cut, you ain't making no money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what would a person expect when taking lessons from you? What is there to expect from you?
Well, people say, well, you're a golf instructor, and I really see myself as a guide. You
Okay.
know, like if you take a tour, a guide points out things to you to
Right.
make you aware of certain things. And this is what I do. Um, I find out if you like. Some people want to take the book and go and read. Some don't need the lessons. S- some don't want to read. They just want you to show them and talk to them.
Right.
So I have to find out what kind of learner the person is, and then try to meet them at their level. You know.
Okay.
So it's an awareness thing so much as how to instructions are sometimes limited in what they can accomplish because you're not letting the person do what's natural for them.
Right.
If I call out a certain and say, "Hey, bro, be aware of where the club head is as you move it," I'm not telling you to put it any place. I'm just telling you to be aware of it where you put it.
Right. Right.
So it's an awareness game.
Okay. So if any of the listening audience is interested in you guiding them, or teaching them, or coaching them, or instructing them, how do they get in contact with you?
Well, the first way I would suggest is that you go to my website. Um, it's www.glennonbasil.com. And there you'll find all of the information that, you find my background, some history, some of the people who have copies of the book, and some major golfers who, I mean, like Lee Trevino and Cal Peete, and, Lee Elder, Butch Harmon, Jimmy Flick, big time.
Okay.
I've had people to come up to me and say, "Coach, I didn't know you were like that, bro."
Right. Right. So how can the listening audience get the book?
Well, the book I was selling it on Amazon,
Uh huh.
and but now since Katrina, I had to get it. I lost everything, so I had them reprinted, and I did not redo my contract with Amazon. So they can contact me and get the hard copy, or coming Monday, uh, my 82nd birthday gift was an ebook and an audio book that's going to drop on Monday.
All
You
right.
understand? So,
Happy birthday.
yeah, so they'll be able to get that online by Monday for sure.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah.
November the 17th. That's a mighty day. All right, listening audience, if you want to be a part of the conversation, you can phone in, you can call in, you can dial in at 504-582-54 9422. 504-582-9422. So please call in and be able to speak to the living legend himself, Mr. Glennon E. Basil. So, Brother Basil,
Hmm.
what are some key lessons you've learned in your career while working with people that you have worked with?
Well, call names. I was working at this resort in Southern California called La Costa,
Okay.
and a fella named Meade Johnson, who's the heir of the Johnson and Johnson people. I used to massage him at 4 o'clock every evening, and he would always be sitting in the chair, where the patrons sat at 3:30. So one day I asked him. I said, "Mr. Johnson, if you're ready, we can go now." And his answer was, he said, "No, I'll wait until 4 o'clock." He said, "But I just like to be a half hour ahead so I can make sure that 50% of the deal has been kept."
Mm.
And that's stuck with me, like, be on time, bruh. You be a half hour earlier, you know. And that also applies to golf, because if you miss your tee time, you're disqualified.
Ah,
So be on time, gang. Whatever it is you do, be on time.
be on time. All right, Brother Basil. We're going to get into the community calendar right quick. Today at the Chicken Salad Chick in Metairie is the Workforce Development in Jefferson Parish with Career Immersion and Leadership Institute. So that's today at 4 o'clock. Happy anniversary to the Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Today is the anniversary, so happy anniversary. On Monday, as well as Coach Basil's birthday. It's also the birthday or anniversary of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. That's November the 17th. That is on Monday. Then on November the 19th is the business case competition with Career Emerging and Leadership Institute. And then on Friday, November 21st, 2025 at Joe Bartholomew Golf Course, it is the 12th annual New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce Crescent City Classic Golf Tournament. So please come on out, get your team, be a sponsor, participate in Ladies with Drive. Also, get you a hole that will advertise your business or businesses. We also have what's called a day pass where you can pay and just come to hang out with the golfers and everybody that's out there. And then on Friday, November 28th, 2025, will be the 6th annual Bayou Classic edition of Cocktails with Coulon and Friends at the Roy Glapion Hall at 730 North Broad, New Orleans, Louisiana. And then the following day, on the 29th, will be the annual Bayou Classic, the Battle of the Big Cats between the Southern University A&M College and Grambling State University. And then on that Sunday, I know the Saints are losing right now, but it is a rival game, so everybody and their mama should be in town for that. And that will be the New Orleans Saints versus the Atlanta Falcons. And that is the community calendar of all the upcoming events that we have in store that's coming up this week. So once again, if you want to call in, dial in, or phone in, 504-582-9422. So as we bring it on home, Coach Basil, how does it feel to be a living legend?
I've been told that I need to promote myself more.
Okay.
Because that wasn't an intention, to be known, because I've always been like obscured. I didn't need the attention, but as people found out about these are the things that I do and how long I've been doing it, and the respect that folks have shown, they made me the living legend, not me. They put that tag on me, But I try to encourage people to find something that they like to do. And, they say if you find something you love to do, you never work. That's not true. You got to work. You got to work it.
Yeah. Stay without working.
Yeah, you got to work it. You got to work it.
You got to work it. You got to keep it alive.
Yeah.
So what does Coach Glenn Basil and the Global Golf Institute, LLC, bring or add to the 12th annual NORBCC Crescent City Classic Golf Tournament?
Well, on that Friday the 21st, I'll have an opportunity to show, I think maybe 20, 25 ladies the art of putting, which is one of the most important parts of the game of golf. A lot of people want to see how far they can hit it and how high, but the game it's a rolling game.
Okay.
You got to know how to roll it. So sometimes folks say, man, who you think going to win the tournament this week? And I always have the same answer, the person who puts the best. Because that's what, that's the one who's going to win. They all can hit it 300. They all can hit it on the green, but if you can't roll it. And it's two different games.
Got it.
One is a ball while it's in the air bouncing, but the other one is the ball actually becomes a wheel, because now you got to roll it on its axis in order for it to go in the hole. There's very few slam dunks in golf.
Got it.
So if you can roll it, you can play.
So, ladies, if you're listening, I'm quite sure you'll learn more than just putting. If you've been listening to this show and everything that this young man has said, I'm quite sure it will be on full display on Friday, November 21st, 2025, at the 12th annual NRRBCC Crescent City Classic Golf Tournament. So please get with either yours truly or any um, board member of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. I can be reached at 504-343-1138 or at 225-802-9634 or nrrbcc.chairman2025@gmail.com. All right, we have a caller. Caller, you're on the air. Hello?
Yes. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, you can hear me. All right. So this is directed to your guest regarding golf. It's something that I've always wanted to learn. In fact, I was a part of the Leisure Curl.
We can hear you cutting out, though.
Well, I'm getting feedback on my end.
Turn your radio down.
Okay. Oh, God, let's see.
All right?
Okay, all right. So, like I was saying, that I've been interested in golf for many years. I was introduced to golf by my brother, who he used to host the Leisure Curl Golf Classic.
Okay.
And he had the Clintons there as and some other notables, but that was in Chicago, and that was back in the day. Okay, I don't want to tell you how old I am, but anyway, but I never lost the desire for golf. He tried to teach us, but I just wasn't patient.
Okay.
And what happened is, along the way, I met a guy who was a golf fanatic. And I'm in New Orleans now, and that person is in Baton Rouge. Now, we're not together, but he was a golf fanatic. And I love the golf shoes. I got so many pair of golf shoes for women, my FootJoys, but I wore them in nursing. It was the most comfortable shoe. I do hair. I wear them now. So I just want to say that I am interested in learning. I want to get in the putting program that you have, and I love the sport. I really do, but I really need to learn how to play. So
Okay.
I just wanted to say I appreciate this program because you came right down my street.
All right. So what you can do is you can either call me or email me, or you can go to Eventbrite and register for the Ladies with Drive golf clinic that is taught and guided by Coach Bazille.
Okay, give me the number because I'll do better by calling. I'm working now. Let me just write the number down.
225-802-9634.
Okay, I think I have that link. Okay, the upcoming event, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. That's on the 21st, next Friday.
On the 21st, yeah. If I can't make it, I'm definitely going to donate. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you all so much.
All right.
Okay.
And I'm quite sure some of them ladies out there may want to buy some of your shoes if you have them to sell.
I got some.
All right.
And look, I've worn them for like 10 years. Okay.
Well, I look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you on next Friday.
Okay. All right.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Coach, do you have some lasting words for the listening audience as we leave the show and leave today? And next week we'll be back on. We'll be right back at you next Wednesday at 12 noon. Coach, it's on you.
Yeah, what I would suggest to you is if you can find a way to make some money in the golf industry. The golf industry is a $226 billion a year industry. Did you hear the number? And very few black people are in it to make money. We are the consumers. We buy the shoes, we buy the clubs, we buy all of the material things. Find a way to do something. I have been a tournament planner since recently, in 2012, I started honoring people who had been in the music industry, in the New Orleans music industry, for 50 years or more. So the Fats Dominoes and the Dave Bartholomew's and all of the legends, I honored 18 every year, okay? And there was a lady named Miss Dolly, and Miss Dolly used to love to bake, and she made cookies, and I mean, moon-sized oatmeal cookies with raisins and nuts in it. I mean, it was like a meal, you know?
Right, right.
And I would have Miss Dolly make cookies for the golf tournament. And if I had 60 players, I'd say, okay, I need 60 cookies. And I'd go get the stuff, bring it to her, and she just enjoyed making them.
Right.
And I had to fuss with her to pay her, and I'd just leave the money on the dresser and walk out the house. Every year it was the same
Right,
thing,
right,
you know.
right.
But the point is, if you can bake cookies, go to any golf course, and you're going to see a bulletin board with upcoming events. There's a contact person name on that list, on that advertisement. You call them and tell them what you do. Hey, I make the best cookies in the world, you know. And here's the fun part. If you are going to make 100 cookies for a golf tournament, and the tournament is on a Saturday, and the people come pick up the cookies on Thursday, and it storms on Saturday.
Right.
So what? You understand? You fulfilled your part of the contract. You know, you don't have nothing to do with what goes on. But if there are 6 golf tournaments going on in a weekend, they got 4 courses in the New Orleans area, and if they got 6 golf tournaments going on each week in the 2 at City Park, Joe Bartholomew, and Audubon Park, you can find, if you just do one, you know, and you do that on a regular basis, it's a cottage industry where you can make some bucks on the inside, you know.
All right.
That's just one way you can make some money in the golf industry.
So, Ms. Dolly and the rest of you cookie people, holla at me.
Yeah.
All right, people, we'll see y'all next week. Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome, babe. My joy.